Today, I learned and used the top 5 offenses in college football 26 to see which one is the best. I also teach you my favorite plays out of every single playbook. The first offense we are going to be using today is the Notre Dame offense. This offense has a very strong passing attack and also has a lot of fun QB runs and speed options. It features a very good bunch strong offset that has a lot of interesting and unique plays. But my personal favorite formation in this playbook is the gun cluster. The favorite play that I found out of gun cluster was Irish mesh whip. This is what it looks like stock. However, I streak X, put B on a post, and stem him down once. This is a very good cover 3 beater. My other favorite play is found in gun bunch strong wide, and it is called clear out FLN. Now there is a ton you can do with this play, as all we really care about is A and RB. Sometimes I'll corner X and put B on a drag, and another thing I do with it is drag X and stem up B one time. And then my third favorite play is flood levels out of gun tight Y off flex. Stock the play is very good. However, I don't like how Y flattens out, so I put him on a post. If I put him on a post, I don't really like how close Y and B are, so I'll drag B. And this is what the play looks like. I know this is an offensive video, so you don't care about the defense at all, but like, bro, are we serious? Are we giving up a kick return touchdown the first play? I swear this is the hardest thing about college football 26 right now is these damn kick returns. But now to get started on what you're here for, right there was what the play art looked like. I ran dagger, but I put a post instead of a streak, and I get a huge chunk of yardage. The play I ran here is called cluster bunch, and you may have to pause to look at the route combo, so I'm sorry, but I get a really nice corner route. And something you remember is this is actually my first game in this playbook, so I'm going to make mistakes as I throw a pick right here trying to go for a double corner route. And he gets a very big return. However, a couple plays later, I'm actually able to stop him on 4th and goal on a QB sneak, so we get a 100-yard drive coming up. And after I run a speed option to get out of the back of the end zone, I run the play I showed out a tight Y off weak, and I get a super weird fumble, but I pick it up. And on a crucial 3rd and 10, I run stock verticals out of gun cluster to pick up the first down. And then on an even bigger 4th and 10, I run dagger out of bunch once again to pick up the first down. And then a quick corner route out of stock flood gets me all the way down to the 29-yard line. On 2nd and 4, Bryce Underwood rolls out to his left side and is able to find Cam Coleman on a flat, and Cam Coleman makes an insane play to get into the end zone. I play great defense on 4th and 11 and am able to get the ball back. On 3rd and 10, I find the post on mesh Irish whip and am able to get all the way down to the 4-yard line. And on 2nd and goal, I run halfback motion QB sweep, and I get into the end zone with Bryce Underwood. And then back on defense, I totally just let him score so I can get the ball back. I'm totally not mad about this at all. Like, how do I don't know. I actually don't care though, because I have prime Cam Newton as my quarterback, and I pick up 2 back-to-back huge plays with Bryce Underwood's legs. Trust me, put magician on this guy. He is insane. He's the best starter quarterback I've ever used. I finally go out to clear out FLN, and I'm able to find my tight end for a huge gain. Make sure to throw that ball under the safety. And then I punch in the touchdown on a QB sneak with Bryce Underwood. He throws a terrible interception, and he actually ends up quitting the game right after. And in the end, I give Notre Dame's playbook a 9 out of 10. The second playbook we are going to be using today is the Bowling Green playbook. Now, after using this playbook, I would say it's a very good playbook. However, you're very limited with the options. However, the plays that you are given are very overpowered. My favorite plays that I used over and over again were Y sail out of normal Y off close. And you can run this pretty much stock. However, I will usually put a drag on Y. But another thing you can do is streak the tight end. And like this, you will get a pretty good zone beater. My other favorite play is corner strike out of bunch strong offset. Now, there are a ton of ways to use this. However, when I was using this, I was playing against a blitz, so I was blocking my tight end every single play. The most common way I use this was streaking RB, putting Y on a Texas, and X on a drag. This is what the play looks like. But if I'm facing a lot of man, instead of streaking RB, I'll put him on a post like this. We start out this game on defense, but I do get a user lurk, so we pretty much start on offense. On in routes like this, you're supposed to throw the ball under your receiver and click on and come catch it. That way, the corner cannot pick it off or knock it out. Now, this guy was sending kind of a weird blitz that was coming in every time. I wasn't really trying to block it. I was really just trying to get that ball out as quick as possible. So having a good halfback or tight end is huge. Now, just like the last playbook, this is my first game in this playbook. So I'm going to make mistakes and I'm going to throw picks. I really just thought that Bryce Underwood would throw the ball a little bit under where he threw it. And my opponent would straight up just throw it into coverage and ag me. I really don't know how to stop that. And then the next play hits me with a really nice playmaker that I'm not able to stop, and he's able to score his first touchdown of the game. Back on offense, and this is when I really started to abuse corner strike. And on this throw, I really think it was open. I personally just overdid the freeform and I threw a pick because of it. And if you're watching this right now, you probably want his offense instead of mine because it looks so bad. But I promise you, if you keep watching, this offense becomes insane and I score every time I touch the ball. And are you sure you want his offense if he's missing field goals like this? Now, like I said, I'm just trying to get this ball as quick as possible to beat this blitz, and having a tight end is huge. I use my tight end so much this game, it is insane. And since users are so slow, snap throwing little drags is huge and a best way to pick up easy yards. I find a big post down the middle using one of the best man meters in the game, and then I go back to corner strike, and I'm telling you, I abuse this play. That corner route is so insane. Did I mention anything about this guy throwing straight into coverage and just straight up agging me all game? However, I do not let him score a 7, and I force him to kick 3, which he actually makes this time. And then on offense, I go back to that play that I threw a pick on earlier, and I don't mess up the freeform, and I'm telling you, that play is actually really good. It just made it look bad because of my freeform. And in case you don't already know, but I'm pretty sure you already know, in college football 26, stiff arming is absolutely overpowered. I have routes all over my field. That glitch is awful, but Bryce Underwood is able to use his legs, and I'm telling you, this guy's the best quarterback in the game. However, I can't do anything, and at the end of half, I have to kick 3. And let me tell you right now, the second half is absolutely insane. I start off the second half, I find my tight end on a corner route and making a guy miss and getting out of bounds. And then I find my super slow halfback on a little dump down flat, making a couple guys miss and actually getting a huge chunk of yards, which is crazy for a 79 speed halfback. And then Bryce Underwood shows you exactly why he is the best quarterback in the game. Make sure to put magician on him. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love it. And then when I kick the ball off, he gets a kick return touchdown, which is very fun. I've been saying this since the game came out. The hardest defense in this game is stopping kick return touchdowns. I swear on everything I love. However, I'm back on offense, and on the very first play, I hit a very nice playmaker. And if you don't know how to playmaker, you have to hold down the left trigger and then the normal playmaker button, which will, if you don't hold down left trigger, it will make you truck. And I get a touchdown off this by making a guy miss. On 3rd and 25, he literally just throws up a streak. And before this play, he actually went and paused the game. And I think he looked at the speed of my corners because they're all like 70-something speed. So he just threw a streak right past them. I run my overpowered corner strike play for like the 10th time this game. I throw a completely blind read, but as you can see, I actually messed up my playmaker. And I think I threw it before the playmaker or just like predetermined throwing my playmaker. But I get a blue pass here, and I make a huge play with Jack Felling. And I actually get a touchdown out of this. Jack Felling, actually very good. However, I think I'm going to move on and get maybe a faster tight end. And once again, he gets a kick return touchdown. I really don't know how to stop these. Since I recorded this game, I actually figured out a way to stop them pretty much every time. But it is still very hard for me. I throw the same exact aim route like I showed earlier in the video. And then on a dead play, Bryce Underwood once shows again why he is the best quarterback in the game by using his legs to pick up the first down. I have a very good pass lead on this breaking post right here. I usually don't throw post because I don't like how much it goes up. But then I run corner strike once again and I get another touchdown. I'm really telling you, like, I cannot say this enough. It is the best corner route I've ever seen in my life. I make an insane user play and I'm able to get another interception on defense to close this game out. However, I am still trying to score, and Christian McCray gets the play of the year. This was an insane fight and just an insane play overall by Christian McCray. Back on defense now, and my opponent throws a little flat. He kind of mixes me up right here. Kind of a block in the back, but you know, they don't really call these. And I actually am able to catch up to him, so he's not able to score a touchdown right away. However, just like the next play, he throws this corner route, and my corners are just too slow and they don't react. He does go for 2, however, and I am able to stop the 2-point conversion, which pretty much seals the game. But really, this long run right here by my super slow halfback, yes, I keep saying that he is like 70 speed. I run the ball a couple more times, don't really get anything, but I'm really just trying to chew the clock. My halfback makes a crazy play here and actually gets me the first down to close this game out. So I am able to kick my 3. I do end up winning this game by 11 points. The first quarter was a little shaky with those 2 picks, but after that, my offense was elite. Student section getting a little bit crazy. I don't really know what they're doing, but Bryce Underwood, oh my gosh, look at those stats. And in the end, I give Bowling Green's playbook a 8 out of 10. The best play in this playbook, and might be the best play in the game after using it, is flood out of gun Y off trio weak. The best way to run it is putting a zig on your tight end and just flattening your halfback or blocking your halfback, depending on if you're getting blitzed or not. And why I say this might be the best play in the game is because of this route that RB is on. Now, another really good man beater, but also a really good zone beater, is sticking up. Also out of gun Y off trio weak. You can run this stock, however, I don't like how A and X kind of run into each other. So I usually put A on a slant And the last play I have for you is spot Y seam out of gun Y off trio weak. This play is an insane zone beater. There's a couple different ways that I ran this. I put a streak on B and I didn't really like it that much, but I did end up putting a corner on him, and I think that worked way better. I think you can also put him on a drag, so you have a check down option. But what you're really looking for here is A. It pretty much gets through any zone. We start this game down 7-0 as we find a quick in route to pick up the first down. And then we get the inward zig out of stick and nod, and that play is very overpowered because we also have the post coming down the middle, and that post is way better than normal post. I find Jack filling on this streak and become a seam and demon and get all the way down to the 3-yard line where I run this cheese play and punch it in with Jaden Ott. And then on defense, I get a stop of 4th and 1, and I guess he was just too scared of the offense and he quit the game. We start the second game by giving up a touchdown on 3rd and 1. A yellow pass by Bryce Underwood luckily gets to Nick Anderson. And I am very tired of all of these inaccurate throws. However, he does throw a good seam streak to Velling and follows that up with a zig to Velling that almost results into an insane touchdown. Luckily, I have my cheese run and punch it in once again with Ott. I play perfect defense on 3rd and 18, forcing a punt. I think my defense is actually good. At first, I was very skeptical of this offense, but it has grown into my favorite offense of the video as I find this post late. And once again, I find the end zone with Ott. I try to get fancy with my blitz on 3rd and 20, but that leads to a long touchdown from Gronk. This next drive shows you how elite this offense is. I'm telling you, that post and seam streak are my favorite routes in the game. And I follow up those two insane throws by finding an in route and score a touchdown. No need for Ott this play. Back on defense, and like I said earlier, I actually think I play really good defense in this game. Well, good defense for the standards of this game because defense is impossible. And I get a D-line pick 6 and he quits right after. And in the end, I give the Purdue offense a 10 out of 10. The Oregon State playbook has a lot of the same overpowered plays as the Bowling Green playbook, such as corner strike, dagger, and flood. But the two plays that make this playbook very good and very unique is mountain bench double post out of gun bunch strong nasty. And this play is very good because it is the exact same double post from Madden 24. Just put it in this setup and you'll be frying cover 3 all day, as you'll see in the video. And the second really good play is flood out of gun Y off trio close. Now you can run this play stock, however I like to streak B. And this is what the play art looks like. This is a very good man beating play. I'm not gonna lie at all. This offense completely let me down. I do find this OG double post cover 3 beater though, which brought back a lot of memories because I was a huge cheeser back in the day. And then Dylan Stewart catches the most random and awkward pick 6 of all time. I usually drop every single pick, and a few plays later I somehow catch another pick and he quits the game right after getting my first win of the Oregon State playbook. And then I match up with this guy in his national championship. I'm trying to ruin some dreams today. But before I go any further, let me remind you, I didn't like this offense at all. So I will be struggling all game. And yes, I throw a terrible pick to start it off. And yes, he is singing in game chat. But maybe by some luck, I will be getting a stop. And I do by forcing a fumble. But that doesn't last for long because it does get called back, meaning he keeps the ball. I do stop him and he only gets 3 out of the drive. But anything he can do, I can do better, as I find my cover 3 beater for the first time this game, putting me up 7-3 early. He drives down the field, however I hold him to a 4th and 4 and force an incompletion, getting the ball back. And with the ball, I quick snap throw this zig and turn it upfield for past the first down. And then I take advantage of Bryce Underwood's amazing, perfect, luscious legs and pick up a first down. And then I throw this halfback wheel to my running back. Kind of lucky, I can't lie, but I probably dropped a lot of picks this game anyway. And I get completely caged on 3rd and 10 and end up having to kick 3. And then I play the absolute worst defense of my life. I give up not 1, but 2 wide open streaks in the 2-minute drill, practically just trying to hand him a touchdown. And with this, he actually does score a touchdown. And with the ball back, I do absolutely nothing with it before half. So I punt the ball, he gets the ball back, he drives a little bit, but he also ends up doing nothing with the ball. So we are starting out the second half on defense. My opponent gets a nice drive going at the start of half. However, he finds himself on a tough 3rd and 10 where I once again play insane defense, but get absolutely no pressure. However, I'm still able to just hold him to 3 points, which is huge in a game like this. I have the ball once again, and instead of playing terrible offense like I have all game, I'm looking to respond big and take control of this game. And I do just that. First, I find a crosser on a huge 4th and 21 conversion, which gives me all the momentum in the world. I find this return route that inches me closer to the goal line, and on 4th and 1, I deliver a big time dot to go up 4 at the beginning of the 4th quarter. And a minute later, I get a huge stop on 4th and 7, which means all I have to do is go down, choose some clock, and score some points to put this game away and ruin this guy's whole entire day. However, on a 4th and 1, I run a QB sneak, which I thought was a good play call, but it practically cost me the whole entire game. Because I played the worst defense of my entire life, giving up big play after big play, leading to him eventually scoring a free touchdown and giving him the lead, meaning I have to go on a money drive to somehow beat this guy in his national championship. However, there's only one problem. My grandpa came into my room talking to me about my girlfriend and maybe not realize that I have 2 timeouts. Now, I'm not blaming this on my grandpa or my girlfriend, but what are we doing? But at the end of the day, I give the Oregon State playbook a 6.7 out of 10. And the last offense I'm going to be using is going to be the UCLA playbook. Now, more so, this is the UCLA bunch because that's really the only formation I run because it's the best formation in the game. Now, let me show you the best play in the game. This is called FL Pivot, and this is the best play in the game because it fries cover 3. Literally, all you have to do is streak the tight end and block your halfback if you want more protection. And this post will literally fry cover 3. Now, my other favorite play is bunch trail. I put B on a drag, and there are a couple of different ways you can run this. You can run the stock just like this. Sometimes I'll streak RB and drag X, kind of go like this. You can also stem down RB all the way and just hike it like that. Leading up to this video, UCLA was my full-time offense. And to start out our Rose Bowl, we get a stop on 4th and 20. Now, like I said, this was my full-time offense for 2 weeks. So I pretty much mastered it. If you remember the Oregon State cover 3 beater, all you have to know is FL Pivot is better as we run speed option and score 7. Back on defense, and on a 3rd and 5, I get kind of a nasty switch stick to lurk my opponent and end up getting a nasty pick 6, which leads up to him quitting, moving me on to the national championship. And call me Devin Hester because I'm returning kicks in the biggest game of my life. This counts towards the UCLA playbook, by the way. And a couple plays later, I hold my opponent to a 4th and 7 and end up once again getting a stop. Oh wait, never mind. He threw right at me and I get a flag, but that's fine because we make up for it and get a pick the next play. And once again, FL Pivot shows why it is the best play in the whole entire game, giving me a free touchdown to Jack Velling. And then a couple plays later, I get once again another interception to win my national championship. And just look at the pulls I got. Oh my gosh! Isn't this like an 87? Ah, Jeremiah Love! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Jeremiah Love! On to the final game of the video, and if you made it this far, thank you. And please subscribe if you haven't already, it would mean the world to me. But as you just saw, I end up lurking my opponent, putting my overpowered offense on the field once again. Jeremiah from Love Island makes a big play out of nothing, getting me all the way down to the 18-yard line where I somehow actually throw an accurate high ball and find the end zone with Cam Coleman running FL Pivot once again. I get my opponent to a 4th and 4 where he draws up a realistic football play and picks up the first with ease. And then he absolutely bombs my cover 3. But that is fine because I get to play offense again. And play offense I do, as Jeremiah Will You Be My Valentine Love shows off his stick by making a few defenders miss. And then I run FL Pivot once again because you can never have enough of a good thing. And out of bunch verticals, I find Cam Coleman on a crosser for the touchdown. Does anybody even care about defense? Okay, I didn't think so. I probably dropped like 6 to 7 picks this drive alone. 6 seconds left before half? That's fine. That's all I've ever needed in my whole entire life anyway. But I do get like really lucky on this touchdown. I can't lie. That should have been caught as an interception. But who cares? It's not like this guy was going to win this game anyway. I'll give you one guess what play I just ran right there. And yes, it's FL pivot. I don't know how you knew that. And if you didn't already know, playmakers are absolutely broken this year. As I find Jeremiah Love for a huge pickup, and at the end here, I try to get a little bit tough with him and physical with him. But it's fine because the next play, I find a quarterback in the back of the end zone and he ends up quitting. And in the end, I give the UCLA playbook a 9 out of 10.